Hello and welcome to Volume 3 of the video newsletter series, The Dormant, Superhuman Inside. I'm Jay Bose. As promised in Volume 2, here I am with Part 2 of the discussion on baseless myths and undeniable truths. Hopefully by now your world has been rocked as you and I collectively shattered some baseless myths that probably had clouded your mind for years on end, and replace them with undeniable truths. The fact that you are still here with me is proof that you have also begun to resonate with the eternal song of the universe. In this volume, we shatter the remaining 5 of the top 10 myths and adopt the bare truths. No longer would you be living under the dark shroud of the word luck, which, as you know by now, means living under chaotic knowledge. The words such as destiny, fate, fortune will lose their meaning, and you develop this incessant inspiration to discover for yourself what future you can shape for yourself. My goal and wish for you, my dormant superhuman friend, is by the end of this volume, you begin to look inside you with a different set of eyes as the knowledge of self-realization sinks in, and you begin to realize the power that you hold inside of you and how powerful you are within to transform your world without. So, here goes. We discussed the first 5 of the top 10 baseless myths in the previous volume. Let's move on to the next 5 of the top 10. This is the second part of the discussion about the top 10 baseless myths and their truthful counterparts. As before, I will state them first, and then we will shatter each one and replace them with undeniable truths. So here goes. Number 6. My prayers are never heard. I have been abandoned. Number 7. I can never achieve that goal. It is not for me. Number 8. The government is responsible for my current state of affairs. Myth number 9. I have tried everything and nothing works for me. And finally, myth number 10. It is the effort and not the end result that counts. Alright, these are the remaining 5 of the 10 myths that I want to cover in this volume. Let's take them one at a time, okay? Wonderful. Myth number 6 goes something like, my prayers are never heard. I have been abandoned. Quite honestly, this is yet another example of the misinformed and misinterpretation of life by your conscious mind. Whatever spiritual superpower or creator you worship does not matter. He or she or it resides in the spiritual plane. So when you are praying, you are vibrating in that spiritual realm. But are you resonating with that spiritual superpower when you are in that realm? The only reason you worship is because you believe in your heart that there is a larger-than-life power that is indefatigable, an infinite source of strength and abundance. The basic laws of physics prove that fluids will flow from an area of high pressure to an area of low pressure. Electric current will flow from a higher to a lower potential. So when you are praying to your spiritual superpower, that is what you are hoping for. You are praying that some of that infinite strength and abundance flows down to you. Let me ask you this. What would prove to you that your prayers have been heard? I would hazard an educated guess that proof will be in the actual manifestation of what you have asked from your spiritual superpower, right? Well, how will you manifest anything in your life if you are not thinking, feeling, and emoting and acting according to the universal principle of reciprocating intentions as I explained earlier? How can you prove to your spiritual superpower that you are worthy of that windfall that you are so desperately seeking? You may have heard someone say that God helps those who help themselves, right? Well, that means that only prayer is not enough. It is only part of the story. You need to transform that thought into an intent and prepare yourself to be worthy of it. When the opportunity arrives, and it always does, take action with unwavering faith. This is the leap of faith that almost always people fail to take, and that is where people fall short of their expectations and begin to condition their mind with such despicable myths. All religious traditions honor the fact that we humans are a likeness of that spiritual superpower that you worship. If that superpower is infinite and omnipotent, and you are a true likeness of that spiritual superpower, why would you think yourself to be anything less? Think about it with a rational mind. What do you really believe and trust? You must trust yourself first before you can really place your faith and trust on that spiritual superpower that you worship. So you have not been abandoned in life, my friend. It is you who have abandoned yourself by cutting yourself short from what you are praying for. It does not matter if you are a religious person or not. As you come with me, in subsequent interactions, you will learn that being religious is just one way of being spiritual. You can be a person of science and still be spiritual. As I said, once you start to look inside of yourself and discover that spirit, you will begin to realize the power that lies dormant within you. Your tomorrow will start to transform and manifest whatever you are thinking, feeling, and emoting about. No exceptions. Let's move on to myth number 7, which reads something like, I can never achieve that goal. It is not for me. Well, how do you know you cannot achieve that goal if you've never done it before? Seriously, how would you know with such certainty that paralyzes your mind, engulfs your mind with delusions of failure, and weakens your spirits to forge ahead and make things happen to you? You are short-selling yourself again, are you not? They ridiculed the Wright brothers when they started to spread the word that man could fly. If they listened and paid attention to such negative criticism, we probably would not have had the airline industry today, let alone plans to fly in space. The Wright brothers knew that man could fly, and so their so-called crazy thoughts transformed into feelings that made them act upon the construction of their first airplane, and the rest is history. When you say that you cannot do something, or doubt your own capabilities about something that you really want to do, you are going to attract more failure and more uncertainty to yourself, again according to the principle of reciprocating intentions. Not only will you fail in your half-hearted efforts, you may also sacrifice money, sweat equity, and then your morale in the process, which in turn will destroy your confidence to attempt anything ever again. You may be comfortable where you are, at least that's what your mind keeps telling you, but you know deep down in the core of your heart that is where you're most uncomfortable. You know where you want to go, but the fact that you are influenced by the word luck is turning out to be the cause of your lack of faith and trust in the person closest to you. That is yourself. Ask yourself, how passionately do you want to succeed? Penetrate through the veil of your misguided and chaotic conscious mind and let your inner subconscious, where your thoughts and feelings and emotions reside, take over the reins of your life. You will begin to leverage the universal principle of reciprocating intentions and attract what you seek in the spiritual plane. All you have to do then is act accordingly and make whatever you seek emerge from the spiritual plane into the physical plane. Remember that there is always a first time for everything, and truth be told, it takes more than muscle power or brute force to make things work your way. If you have an intent, it needs to become a passion. When you have a passion, you begin to release the vibrations in the spiritual plane that soon starts to resonate with the physical plane, which in turn will manifest your thoughts into reality.